Hi. I have a funny feeling, and it's really unaccustomed. I feel pretty tonight. Isn't that strange? I mean, I don't know. Folks, I hardly live in this body. I mean, that's the way it has been up to now. But health is improving. Uh, and so I'm inhabiting the body more. It's easy on two counts for me not to be in it. One is that of the intense pain, and the other is just going off and rejoicing being in spirit. But the key to our sojourn on earth, the key to our ascension, the key to so very much is unlocked biologically. It's our bodies that are the royalty that Alex Collier talks about, that are priceless to many races of beings across the galaxy. And so it's best to come to terms. I'm learning to love the body that I'm living in. I didn't realize I was so, not mean, but kind of unconcerned and uncaring with it. I was born with a Capricorn sun, and that's not exactly an emotional placement. That's not touchy-feely. But interestingly enough, I was born on the full moon, and so if you're an astrologer, that tells you I was born with a Cancer moon. That's very touchy-feely. It doesn't get more touchy-feely. So, an interesting set of opposites. That kind of astrology is difficult to deal with when you're young. Because you just bang your head up against it. You know how kids are. And it's the most dangerous thing in the world to think you know something. That's what I'm discovering. My finest and greatest joy has truly been in the discovery that I don't know anything. And I find that when I'm well aware of, I'm not just saying this, I really mean it. Okay, I'm not in my head though. You can't say this from head. Okay, you have to be in heart. When I really, truly, deeply am aware of not knowing and content to embrace not knowing, that's when I'm given all of cosmos. In a way, that's when I know everything is when I know nothing. And that's that paradox that we keep meeting. I think it's like a trail of breadcrumbs spread out for us to show us we're on the right path. When you keep encountering paradox like synchronicity, like the 1111 and things that people are seeing, as we keep encountering these things, I think it's like a crumb trail. Okay, what have I to share? What have I to say? I don't know. I've been spending some time studying, which is hard for me, um, on becoming a legal sovereign. There's so much to learn. Our education is not worthless, but it's pretty close. Even when you have a good one, I have a pretty good education. Um, Not a lot of it is really practical and useful and will stand up with you in life, in court, in various kinds of situations that you run into. And it's a real interesting thing trying to weed through the information overload that greets us on the net to find those things that resonate in heart. And it's kind of like when you find a good author, if you're a reader at all, or if you ever have been, you know what it's like to discover someone whose writing really clicks with you. it's very exciting when that someone has written more than just one book, because then you don't need to look into what it is. If it's by that person, you're fine with it, and you just know you want to read it. And so when you find a good source, like a Tolle or a, a Muji like an Adyashanti, a Byron Katie, those are spiritual sources. But, for the other things in life as well, there are a lot of people out there that want us to be afraid. And so it's a little tricky when you go into things that touch on what's wrong with life right now and who has it right, and which way to go, what to look into, whose word to trust, who speaks with a forked tongue, that kind of thing. And so when you find good sources for such information, that's very good too. That's such a relief, because there's just too much info out there, and we don't need it all. We really don't. The little squirrel cage up here, we don't need that going, very little. I have forgotten who said it. It might have been Muji, but it's so beautiful. Let mind never leave the lap of the heart. That says it all. When we can place the mind comfortably and confidently within the heart and in the lap of heart, because that puts heart in the controlling of that relationship, then we're in an ideal case to not only be able to read, but to discern and to receive the interior guidance that's there for us. It really is. We are guided, and the more we steer our footsteps as guided by heart, the guidance itself will multiply, and we'll find ourselves just understanding and just swimming in serendipity more and more. I think I'll make this one short tonight. The body's kind of aching, but I did want to get maybe a couple videos up. Know that you're loved, and love yourself, please. We all need to do that. If we cannot love the self, we have nothing to give to anyone else. If you're having trouble in your relationships, don't look to them, look to yourself. How are you not loving and respecting yourself first? Good day.